Today, I stand before you to talk about one of the most important figures in any school or college, the ideal student. But what truly defines an ideal student? Is it someone who simply scores top marks in exams, or is there more to this title than grades and report cards? Let us take a deep and honest look into the true meaning of an ideal student. An ideal student is not just someone who excels academically. They are someone who aims to grow holistically. They view learning not as a chore or a means to an end, but as a lifelong journey that shapes their character. From the moment they enter the school gates, an ideal student strives to cultivate discipline, respect, honesty, humility, and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. First and foremost, discipline lies at the heart of an ideal student's life. Discipline is not a strict set of rules, but an inner commitment to do one's best. Whether it's attending classes on time, completing homework, preparing thoroughly for exams, or participating in extracurricular activities, discipline keeps them focused and consistent. They don't wait for someone to monitor them. They motivate themselves to rise every day with a sense of purpose. Being disciplined also means learning to manage one's time, setting priorities wisely, and balancing study, play, and personal interests. In this way, an ideal student sets the foundation for their future achievements. Second, an ideal student is driven by a genuine passion for learning. They don't read books just to pass tests. They read them to gain understanding. They never hesitate to ask questions when they don't comprehend a concept, nor do they shy away from learning something new outside of their syllabus. Whether it's exploring new technologies, participating in debates, conducting experiments in the science lab, or simply indulging in thoughtful reading, an ideal student is naturally curious. This thirst for knowledge enhances their creativity, sharpens their intellect, and keeps them grounded as they grow into insightful individuals. Moreover, an ideal student treats everyone with respect and kindness. They appreciate the guidance of their teachers, the support of their parents, and the companionship of their classmates. They practice humility and never let success make them arrogant. They do not look down on their peers who may be struggling academically. Instead, they uplift them. Respect and empathy define their everyday interactions. It is this very character that often distinguishes an ideal student and makes them a positive influence within the school community. Honesty is yet another vital pillar of an ideal student's character. They understand that cheating or using shortcuts will never truly help them grow. They believe that integrity is more important than any grade or medal. Whether it's submitting their own original work, admitting a mistake they've made, or standing up for what is right, an ideal student holds honesty as their guiding principle. This commitment to truthfulness lays a strong moral foundation that will serve them well beyond their years at school. Additionally, an ideal student never shies away from responsibility. They recognize that their actions have consequences and take ownership of them. Whether they succeed or fail, they view their experiences as opportunities to learn. They also contribute actively to school life. They might volunteer to organize events, help maintain cleanliness in their classrooms, or take part in charitable drives. Their sense of responsibility extends to caring for the environment, their community, and all the people around them. Furthermore, an ideal student understands the importance of teamwork and cooperation. They appreciate that everyone is blessed with unique talents, and they embrace diversity. By working collaboratively, they inspire their peers to put forth their best effort, creating an atmosphere of mutual support. Success to them is not a solo endeavor but a shared journey. And lastly, an ideal student acknowledges that self-care is important too. They realize that a sound mind rests in a healthy body, so they do their best to stay physically active and emotionally balanced. They make time for sports, creative pursuits, leisure reading, or simply reflecting on their goals and aspirations. They believe in nurturing their mental and emotional health as much as their academic performance. In conclusion, understanding the true meaning of an ideal student reveals that academic excellence, though important, is only one part of the picture. An ideal student is disciplined yet flexible, driven yet humble, curious yet respectful, responsible yet caring. They embrace education as an opportunity to become better versions of themselves every single day. In this way, an ideal student becomes an invaluable part of their school, their family, and eventually their society. Let us all strive to be ideal students in the truest sense, committed to learning, guided by strong values, and determined to make a positive difference wherever we go. Discipline and time management as key traits today. I stand before you to talk about two of the most vital traits that shape an ideal student and lead us towards success: discipline and time management. These may sound like simple concepts, but their impact on our personal growth, academic achievements, and future success cannot be overstated. First, let us reflect on what discipline truly means. Discipline is often misunderstood as a strict set of rules imposed from outside. But real discipline begins within. It is an inner commitment to do what is right, even when nobody is watching. It is a strong sense of personal responsibility that keeps us grounded and focused, regardless of distractions and temptations. An ideal student is disciplined not because they fear consequences, but because they understand that discipline is the key to reaching their goals. Think of discipline as a guide that keeps you on the right path. Every morning, disciplined students rise early, plan their day, and begin their work with determination. They do not need someone to remind them to complete homework or prepare for tests. Instead, they do these tasks willingly, knowing that small efforts each day add up to big successes over time. Being disciplined is like training a muscle. The more you practice self-control and consistency, the stronger and more effective you become. Closely tied to discipline is the skill of time management, which is equally vital for an ideal student. Time is the most valuable resource we have, yet it is also one of the easiest to waste if we are careless. Time management is not merely about cramming more into the day. Rather, it is about using our time wisely and purposefully. It means deciding what matters most: studying, exercising, spending time with family, pursuing passions, and then allocating our time so that every area of life gets the attention it deserves. When students manage their time well, they eliminate last-minute stress and reduce anxiety. Imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are prepared for tomorrow's quiz, or that your assignment is completed 2 days before the deadline. Proper time management allows you to break larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a big project or exam, a student can plan to tackle a little bit every day. With this habit, the burden feels lighter, and they grow more confident in their abilities. Discipline and time management go hand in hand. Consider this: without discipline, even the most beautifully created schedule will fail. You might plan to study math at 5 p.m. every day, but if you lack discipline, you will let distractions like social media, games, or chatting with friends steal your focus. On the other hand, if you have discipline but no plan for your time, you might work very hard without making real progress toward your most important goals. This is why successful students embrace both. They design a clear plan for their day and possess the discipline to follow through. Moreover, disciplined students know that balance is important too. They recognize that their bodies and minds also need rest. Time management isn't only about productivity, it's also about ensuring time for relaxation and fun. An ideal student schedules breaks and leisure alongside study sessions. This balance keeps them energetic, focused, and emotionally stable. It also prevents burnout, allowing them to give their very best in every activity. Additionally, discipline and good time management shape a student's character beyond academics. These traits teach patience, perseverance, and commitment, qualities that remain invaluable long after school years have ended. In the future, whether as a professional, a leader, or an entrepreneur, these habits will help you stay focused under pressure and make decisions that lead to success. Time management will help you prioritize your responsibilities, and discipline will ensure that you follow through on your commitments without giving up. As an ideal student practicing discipline and time management, you will also inspire others. Your classmates may admire your organized habits, your calm under pressure, and your consistent performance. Even your teachers and parents will recognize the maturity you show by handling your responsibilities well. This can create a positive ripple effect, encouraging those around you to reflect on their own habits and strive for self-improvement. Finally, I would like to emphasize that everyone can cultivate discipline and time management skills. It simply requires the will to begin. Start small, set a simple goal like completing homework at a fixed time every day. Avoid distractions during that hour. Gradually add more productive habits, and soon you will find that discipline and time management come naturally to you. In conclusion, discipline and time management are not optional traits. They are the foundation upon which we build our dreams. They help us make the most of our time as students and prepare us for all future challenges. Let us embrace these key traits with enthusiasm and commitment. Let us recognize that by honoring our time and training our willpower, we are investing in a better, more successful version of ourselves. Today, I want to talk about two powerful forces that drive true education and personal growth: curiosity and the passion for learning. These are the sparks that ignite an ideal student's mind and spirit. They transform studying from a mere task into an exciting adventure of discovery. Curiosity is often described as the desire to know. It is an inner voice that keeps asking why, what, and how. This simple but powerful drive pushes us beyond textbooks and tests. It encourages us to look deeper into the world around us, to question everything, and to search for answers. Curious students do not settle for memorizing facts. They aim to understand concepts thoroughly. They take the initiative to explore new ideas and connect them to real life situations. When we embrace curiosity, learning stops being a duty and becomes a joy. Every class, every subject, and every chapter holds new surprises to discover. Even a challenging topic can feel less intimidating if we approach it with a sense of wonder. An ideal student asks questions not because they want to impress others, but because they genuinely want to understand the world. Whether it's why the stars twinkle at night or how ancient civilizations built their empires, they never hesitate to dive deeper. And where there is curiosity, there is also a strong passion for learning. Passion is the emotional fuel that keeps a student going. It's that eagerness to pick up a book, do a science experiment, solve a math problem, or write a heartfelt essay. Passionate learners look forward to their lessons. They recognize that knowledge is empowering and liberating. Every new skill they master and every new idea they discover is like a treasure they add to their personal growth. This passion for learning is what keeps an ideal student going, especially when the going gets tough. Sometimes schoolwork can feel exhausting, tests can be stressful, assignments can pile up, but students who truly love to learn never lose sight of their larger goals. They understand that every challenge they face is also an opportunity to grow wiser and stronger. Moreover, curiosity and passion do not just make us better at academics, they help us become better people. Curious learners tend to be more open-minded. They appreciate different perspectives, respect diverse cultures, and are willing to listen to viewpoints that may be different from their own. Passionate learners don't give up easily when they encounter a difficult problem. Instead, they persist. They believe that with time, effort, and patience, they can understand anything. This mindset, sometimes called a growth mindset, is one of the most powerful assets a student can have. Another beautiful thing about curiosity and passion is that they inspire creativity and innovation. Throughout history, the most brilliant thinkers and inventors like Einstein, Marie Curie, or Thomas Edison were driven by an insatiable curiosity and an unstoppable desire to learn. They were never satisfied with the world as they found it. They kept asking questions and searching for answers that would improve life for everyone. Even today, every new discovery, every breakthrough, and every work of art owes its existence to someone who dared to wonder and pursued knowledge with passion. As students, we too can make a difference. Even small questions can lead to big discoveries. Whether we want to design a science project that solves a local issue, write a story that reflects our unique thoughts, or simply help a classmate understand a difficult math problem, all these actions stem from a passionate, curious mind. When we embrace this mindset, we stop seeing learning as a competition and start seeing it as a personal quest for excellence and self-discovery. That is why an ideal student is never just a passive listener in class. They do not wait to be told what to do or what to think. They take charge of their learning, they read beyond what's required, they look for connections between subjects, they use their talents to explore new ideas. They recognize that education is a gift, a chance to grow intellectually, emotionally, and morally. In closing, let us remember that curiosity and passion for learning make all the difference. They transform school from a routine into a fascinating journey. They empower us to face challenges, expand our knowledge, and grow into confident, capable individuals who can contribute meaningfully to the world around them. So, my dear friends, let us never stop being curious. Let us never lose that fire that drives us to seek, to discover, and to understand. Let us make a commitment today to nurture these traits in ourselves and each other, for it is through curiosity and passion that we will truly thrive as students and as lifelong learners. Today, I would like to speak about 3 qualities that truly define the character of an ideal student: humility, respect, and moral integrity. These are not just words, they are principles that shape who we are and guide our behavior every single day. Together, they help us grow into not only good students but also good human beings. First, let's talk about humility. Humility is the ability to stay grounded even when we achieve success. An ideal student understands that all of us have strengths and weaknesses. Even if they top the class, win competitions, or receive applause, they never let pride or ego take over. Instead, they recognize that their talents are gifts to be grateful for, not reasons to look down on others. A humble student is also willing to learn from everyone, whether it's a teacher, a classmate, or someone younger. They accept feedback gracefully, admit when they make mistakes, and strive to improve without making excuses. This attitude keeps them open to new ideas and allows them to grow continuously. Humility reminds them that knowledge is limitless and there will always be more to discover. Next comes respect, which is one of the most important values in any school or society. Respect means treating everyone, classmates, teachers, staff, parents, with kindness and dignity. An ideal student understands that respect is not earned by status or position alone, but is due to every human being simply because they matter. Students who practice respect listen attentively when someone is speaking. They appreciate diverse viewpoints and don't judge others based on background, appearance, or abilities. They help their peers when they struggle and never make fun of someone for their shortcomings. Even in a disagreement, they remain polite and considerate. By creating an environment of mutual respect, they inspire harmony and understanding in the classroom and beyond. Let's talk about moral integrity, a strong, unshakable commitment to doing the right thing, even when nobody is watching. Integrity is the backbone of an ideal student's character. It means being honest in their schoolwork, avoiding cheating or shortcuts, and holding themselves accountable for their actions. Even if making the right choice is difficult or less popular, they do not compromise their principles. Students who possess integrity believe that success achieved through dishonesty is meaningless. Whether they are writing an exam, playing on the sports field, or working on a group project, they uphold honesty and fairness. They understand that integrity is what truly builds their reputation, not their grades or trophies. When humility, respect, and moral integrity come together, they create a beautiful balance. An ideal student embodies all 3 of these qualities. They never see themselves as superior to anyone. They acknowledge that every person deserves to be heard and treated fairly. They act with honesty, even in the face of temptations. These traits help them navigate their school years with grace and set a strong moral foundation that will support them in all areas of life. Such students also uplift those around them. Their humility encourages teamwork because they value everyone's contributions. Their respect nurtures a sense of belonging where everyone feels safe and appreciated. Their integrity builds trust, making them dependable friends and reliable classmates. Together, these qualities help shape a school culture where everyone can thrive. Moreover, these qualities prepare students for the challenges they will face in adulthood. Employers and communities appreciate individuals who work honestly, who show respect to everyone, and who can stay humble despite their success. It is not academic brilliance alone that will define their future, it is also their character. Humility will help them accept new challenges with an open heart. Respect will help them collaborate with diverse teams. Integrity will help them stand up for what is right, even in difficult times. In closing, let us all embrace the ideals of humility, respect, and moral integrity. Let us make them a part of who we are, both inside and outside the classroom. Let us remember that an ideal student is not measured only by their report card or awards, but by the strength of their character and the goodness of their heart. When we live by these values, we become the kind of people who inspire others, and that is the true mark of success. Striving to be an ideal student every day as we come to the end of this important discussion on what it means to be an ideal student, I want to focus on one key idea that becoming an ideal student is not a one-time goal or a destination. It is a continuous process. It is about striving to be an ideal student every single day. Every morning is a new opportunity to improve ourselves, practice the good values we have learned, and work towards becoming better versions of who we were yesterday. When we reflect on the qualities that make an ideal student: discipline, time management, humility, respect, honesty, and a genuine passion for learning, we realize that these are not qualities that happen by chance. They grow in us through daily practice and commitment. No one is perfect, and we all have weaknesses, but striving every day to improve is what truly matters. Each day we face choices. Do we wake up on time or hit the snooze button? Do we listen attentively in class or let our minds wander? Do we help a classmate in need or ignore them? These small choices add up to shape the person we become. By consciously making the right choices, choosing discipline over laziness, respect over indifference, honesty over shortcuts, we gradually build our character. This is the real journey of an ideal student. It's also important to remember that this pursuit is not always easy. There will be days when we feel tired, when schoolwork feels overwhelming, or when we are tempted to take the easier way out. But an ideal student is someone who keeps going, who learns to persevere in the face of obstacles. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger and more resilient. By refusing to give up, they prove to themselves that they can overcome any difficulty with patience and determination. Striving to be an ideal student also means understanding that mistakes and failures are part of the learning process. Every successful person has failed at some point in their journey. What matters most is our attitude towards failure. An ideal student accepts their mistakes honestly, learns valuable lessons from them, and moves forward with even greater commitment. They do not let temporary setbacks define them. Instead, they use these experiences as stepping stones towards self-improvement. In our day-to-day lives, striving to be an ideal student is also about showing kindness and empathy to those around us. Even the most accomplished student knows they are part of a larger community, their school, their family, their society. Every positive action, no matter how small, can make a meaningful impact. When we encourage our friends, when we respect our teachers, when we appreciate the efforts of our parents, these are the kinds of habits that strengthen our character and make us proud of who we are becoming. Moreover, striving to be an ideal student every day reminds us that education is not just about grades or certificates. It is about developing ourselves holistically, intellectually, emotionally, and morally. Real success lies in the balance we achieve across all aspects of life. It is found in the way we grow as human beings who can contribute to society with knowledge, compassion, and integrity. The beauty of this continuous journey is that there is always room to grow. Every day presents a new chance to read something new, to ask a thoughtful question, to help someone who is struggling, or to do the right thing even when no one is looking. And every time we make these choices, we move a step closer to becoming the ideal student we strive to be. In the end, it is the sum of our daily efforts that truly shapes us. It is not just our talent or intelligence that will determine our future, but our daily habits, mindset, and values. Every good habit you practice now will pay off many times over as you grow up and face life's bigger challenges. So, my dear friends, let us make a commitment today to strive to be ideal students every day, starting from this very moment. Let us embrace discipline, respect, integrity, and a passion for learning as guiding principles for our lives. Let us believe that with patience and perseverance, we can become not only successful students, but also better individuals. When we make this daily effort to be honest, to work hard, to stay humble, to respect everyone around us, we become the kind of students who uplift ourselves and inspire those around us. That is the true spirit of being an ideal student, and that is the path that will lead us toward a brighter future.